Alright, Serger, let's do this.
Tired. A little bit. Shazazz, whatever. You can delaminate a little quickly. You can delaminate it quickly. Can't talk today. I haven't burped yet. Hey. Hi, I'm Amanda, and a couple weeks ago I showed you how to attach the snaps to the outer shell of your pocket diaper. This week I'm going to show you how to attach the outer shell to the liner. Before you get started, you need to figure out what kind of material you are using on the inside of the diaper. Right now I have a microfleece laid out. On the mustache diaper I have an athletic wicking fabric. And then on the tattoo diaper, I have a suede cloth fabric for the liner. I only suggest using a wicking fabric, an athletic wicking fabric if you are an advanced sewer. The other two are more for beginners. They're a lot easier to work with. When you go to pin the fabric together, make sure that the front of the fabric is facing each other. Basically, whatever is going to be on the outside of the diaper needs to face on the inside of the diaper when you go to pin it. But you need to make sure that you can see the line on the wicking fabric, whichever kind of wicking fabric you use, so that you know where your line is to sew. So I'm going to lay my pull down just like this, with the front of the snaps facing up. I'm going to lay my wicking fabric on top and line it up as much as possible. And my blue chalk line is very visible so that I know what I need to do. Now when you go to pin it, usually it doesn't matter what direction you use to pin these. But with the pull, you need to make sure that you make the least amount of holes as possible. So you're going to want to pin along where you're going to sew. The microfleece, it doesn't matter which direction it is, or the athletic wicking fabric, it doesn't matter. But with the suede cloth, there's a shiny side on one and the soft side on the other, so the soft side is going to be facing in. So when you go to pin it, make sure you pin along the line of where you're going to sew. You want to make sure you leave as least amount of holes as possible. When you go to put them together, you can use either a serger or a sewing machine. Today I'm going to show you how to use a serger, but on the sewing machine you can use a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. I prefer a straight stitch. You want the width a little bit further spaced than you're used to. I use mine at about a 4 or 5. That way it doesn't become delaminated quickly. So, there we go. When you use a serger, you need to make sure all the tension settings are right. Tension on sergers are very finicky and get out of balance very quickly. So make sure you have a scrap piece of pull and of the wicking fabric you are using. If you want to learn how to thread a serger and change the tension settings to get it correct, let me know. Maybe we can look into making a future video. So I'm just going to run it through real quick, make sure that it's still where I want it to be. And it's perfect. The good thing about a serger is that it cuts off all the extra fabric that you don't need. A sewing machine can't do that. And with a serger, you don't have to back stitch like you do with a sewing machine to begin and end your piece. With the sewing machine, you have to do that in order to secure the fabric better. So let's move on to the diaper. Let's get started. When you start out, make sure you start at the top where the pocket is. In the tracing and cutting out video, I showed you where you need to cut into the pattern a little bit. That way, there's going to be a seamless straight to the elastic. So let's do this. As you're going, if you start seeing it fraying, kind of like it is up here, it's not exactly on the curve. I kind of felt it and one of the snaps got in the way. So in that case, you can just go back to the beginning of your line and redo it. Make sure you don't do it too many times, otherwise you're going to completely ruin your pattern. Once you are done serging, I like to touch up each of the corners with some fray block. Fray block will basically just seal everything and make sure it doesn't fray or come loose at any point. It dries clear and it's washable and dry cleanable. So you can usually get that at Joann's, a lot of different places. I like the Dritz kind is my favorite. Yeah. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Give us ideas for future videos and such. If you find out you don't like making cloth diapers, I sell them on my Etsy site and also my Facebook. On my Facebook, I have a bunch of tips and tricks for cloth diapering and sewing and all kinds of stuff. So check it out. And I'll see you next time. All right. I know, so bad.